Hello, my name is Michael Lai. I am an entrepreneur, over 22 years experience in real estate and over 3,000 transactions in service and sell company that through R&T and Windermere R&T, also Prudential R&T Real Estate. Before starting the Modern Living Company, real estate investment, development, management, and US Asia Pacific Incorporated in the United States is the federal approved regional center for the immigration. I have spent over 13 years in the leadership, investment brokerage, and also operating financial mortgage industry. So since the 2005, the firm completed over $100 million asset annually and collected more than 800 plus million in sale volume. So also an active member of the ICSC, has been coming down to the ICSC, for the past 15 years. Always been a member of the Commercial Broker Association and the IIUSA Invest in the US and the state of what. So I hold in the state of Washington approval educator, also the designated broker license. So over the year, we have been trained and coached and many entrepreneurs, also done many projects. I would like to use those ideas and strategy and experience that we learned in the past and put into this training program for investor, for builder that looking to learn more, that looking to take your investing skill to the next level. So over the 13 years operating and managing real estate company, over Windermere Real Estate R&T is over in the Seattle, Washington, and then Prudential Real Estate would happen to be the first player in the Pacific Northwest, as well as Prudential is the before it merged with the Berkshire Hathaway. I used to be a CEO and owner, so we learn a lot from how to help entrepreneur in real estate, learning new skill, and improve their business. But in the management, we look at the concept of the PPP. So what PPP? Well, some of it would be like PPP stand for people, production, and profit. If we have more people, then we have more production, and then if we have more production, then we have more profit for your company. So the leadership skill in the mentor series is important in today's market to helping you to run a better, more productive company. So I like to introduce to you the concept, of in terms of being an executive CEO. What are the crucial skill, that maintain and grow your company. First, we're talking about like recruiting new member to your company. And then also look at the training program. What is it training program that that help your sales team to grow, right? So how do we coaching our client? How do we coaching our client? How do we coaching our team member? How do we raising the productivity, right? So that gonna lead to retention, right? So what it is the most value that leadership, owner, CEO, can provide for your own team, for your own company. So So that will be the leadership training, and about the you know so we look at like say what it is training is, what it is training, and who should what it is that we can learn, right? And who gonna be benefit, who should attend in this kind of training. So it should be the real estate investing broker that want to learn more, that want to improve their skill, that want to expand in their business, right? And real estate builder, real estate small builder, yeah, right? You wanted to learn more about more idea, better strategy, to invest and build in today's market. And it's also for developer who want to expand in, your building portfolio. So the first one, we can look at the agenda. A lot of us it's in residential real estate that want to expand it into commercial market, and we have over 1 million plus residential realtor in the U.S. that would like to that practice real estate on day-to-day basis. But if the commercial real estate is also very lucrative, great business to get into. So 80% of what I do is commercial real estate and development and investment, right? So the commercial real estate is offer variety of investment opportunity. It's the advanced training that you will be equipped to recognize the existing potential. So for the beginner, commercial may provide a quick gas for the debt relief to the wholesale, and wholesale business is a great business, right? You have an ability and the skill to acquiring deal and be able to pass it on wholesale it to another investor, right? That pay you a fee for that. So the wholesale provide a quick gap for debt relief to wholesale, but then more investors want to hold it a long term for the cash flow and appreciation in their lifestyle. So during this training, you will explore the real estate cycle with the open discussion in the trigger point in terms of cycle land, reading the market, and you will gain to the understanding of 4 basics of commercial real estate, which is retail. And I understand retail in today's market is very challenging right now with the market that we're in, and then but it's also other sector in warehouse, and then multifamily apartment mixed use happen to be the hardest asset to invest in. So looking at the market where we are today, what kind of market do we have, and how do we cap on the opportunity that we're in right now? And Warren Buffett always say that the crisis, it create the opportunity. So what are the opportunity in today's market? So I would like to share with you some of the strategy that you will be learning through the investor success training program. The first one would be the foreign buyer. As you already know, I'm here in Seattle, Washington. That's where I practice real estate. And you already know that in the past 6 to 7 years, with the upward trending market before the market change before the last market change in 2007, 2008, and 2009, that went all the way to 2012, right? But if you look at the track record from the Northwest Multiple Listing Service during the 2009 and 2010, we at the firm, we still close and manage to help over 298 clients in 2010. But then in 2009, when the sky is falling in the flat market, in the declining market, we still able to help over 292 clients. So it really to prove to you that our system work in a good market. Our system also work better in the declining and changing market. It's a one thing about about foreign buyer, you already know, right? The according to the Northwest Multiple Listing Survey, before the over 30+% luxury home selling in the Bellevue East Side, where the Microsoft is in Seattle, it's sold to immigrant buyer. So it's very significant. I am a developer myself, and also over the last 20 years, involved in entitlement development and acquisition for the subdivision, that also helping the builder to helping the builder to marketing and sell. Is that we can see the majority of home buyer new construction is immigrant, and so the idea and strategy that helping the foreign buyer to help and invest and buy in the U.S. is crucial, right? It's important for your business, and that's the one way that you can expand in your business in today's market. I understand. We speaking right now. Our state department is closed. Close the door. That not issue any visa for foreign buyer to come into our U.S. right now. But that probably will be changing with the policy, and so I also have a lot of this experience doing the foreign buyer program. As you know that I have office and operating in China in the last 12 years, and so I also have 2 physical office that open in Vietnam, in Saigon and in Hanoi. And with training our broker out there, we do a lot of outreach. So foreign investor buying in the U.S. is very good source of business to tap into, right? So we talk about commercial real estate and the fundamental understanding real estate and understanding about the step and the training to be discussed, and the documentation, what it is about acquisition, what it is about due diligence, what it is about the contract, what it is about evaluation based on square feet, evaluation based on unit, evaluation based on enhancing zoning from where it is to where it should, where it's the higher and better use, right? And then the due diligence process of it, and then of course how to acquire new customer in commercial, right? So those are some of the things that we will be learning. So some of the project and some of the client that we working with over the year that I be able to help many projects. And for example, one of the projects that we have right now, one of the projects that we have right now is that the Seattle Modern Living at Redondo. It's when it was acquiring that asset, and at the time is the zoning from the city of the current municipality where the property located is only allowed to build up to 110,000 square feet, 3 level, right? So we went to the process with the city council, changing the zoning from what it were to what the height and the best use should be. As you know right now, the zoning is changing from 120,000 square feet of the 3-story and allowed to build maximum up to 120,000 square feet of retail. So we changed that into from the zoning. We changed that from 120,000 square feet to 1 million square feet of senior housing and a market rate apartment, and also bring in a national recognized brand like Cambria Hotel into the project. So really and the valuation of those assets, it probably be quadruple, right? So business and enhancing, changing the value through the use chain. This is some of the strategy that we'll be sharing at the commercial class where we're learning together. So the one class that I would like to share with you is the class is called Enhancing and Creating More Equity on the Project, right? So this is the so for example, right? When we as you can see right now, we're selling the project of the Kubota Garden on the marketplace. But at the same time, if you have a chance, go into KubotaGardenVillage.com. If you can see that from there is that we acquiring asset out of a 2.88 acre from Washington Federal Savings, and then we change the use of it from what it was to where it should be, and now it's a home of a 28 new homeowner in the community. So we in the normal market, right? A lot of us will ask ourselves a question in the United States, in Asia, and in Europe, where we are right now. Is I say, when are we gonna get back to normal, right? And yes, we are gonna get back to the normal, but the new normal, it requiring you to change the way that you deal with business, right? So one of the idea and the strategy here in the enhancing and equity class that you will be learning is also cover countless technique to raise force, enhancing your equity position, create and enhancing that will improve your cash flow over and over again. So this class will define your proceed limitation and enable you to profit instantly. For example, I would say that look at a project on a website at the Rent and Play. We acquired this project at a single family home. It's located on a low-rise zoning, right? So we recognize the highest and the best use of the property is not a single family home. If it's a single family home, you get that property on the market, you get that sold, for your client, then you're probably gonna get the maximum at $600,000. It's a maximum you can sell that asset. But if you're going to be able to turn that into the highest and the best use of the zoning, we see the 5-unit townhome. So that creates significant value. So from what it were, you can maximum you sell it for. That asset was sold in today's market, it probably be at $600,000. But if you're going to be able to maximum the use of the zone and build it to the highest and the best use, right? It should be about $3 million plus. So that's one of the transaction out of many transactions that we done in the past. So create and enhancing. So you're gonna become the expert in recognize the future of the potential, right? In terms of what it is about the future. When you buy in the property or helping the client to buy the property, what do you recognize for the future that come into the area? And then, in terms of creating equity through paper, right? And creating the equity through a physical chain. Let me give you example. On the project of 3418 Renton Place out in Renton, a 5-unit townhome that you can check it out on the Northwest multiple listing on Zillow, right, on Redfin. Those homes were both those investments will maximize the use of the highest and the best use, right? So creating what it is about creating equity through the paper. we for example, that property. So if you were to purchase that property, you go to the entitlement process, which is higher than the best yield, and figure out all the underground utility and connection, and then go and for me, what I do is I go to my team, develop it. After the entitlement, after the due diligence is done, we use the zoning, right? We use the current zoning and max the zoning of it. So the max the higher than the best use for that would be like 5-unit townhome, and that's what we did. So two way to exit on the investment too, that you should look at is like, well, what is your exit strategy? So in what I do is that I have two exit, right? Number one is short-term exit, and number two is long-term exit. So what is short-term exit? Short-term exit is when you create the equity, the value, and value added through paper. So and what we did on that asset that we just mentioned is that we entitled the process. We put together all from design to put together the design, the structure, the electrical, the civil. We're putting together submittal package, and we submit it to the municipality to get an approval for the use, right? And then we sell it to the market to make a short-term profit. Now you take it from like one single tax ID. Now you have you change that from one tax ID to 5 tax ID, and you have like one single asset, right? Now you have like five tax ID you can sell. So question that you ask yourself is, if you were to invest in that project, into that project, how would that be for you, right? You got one tax parcel, now you change that into 5 tax parcel, and then you got and then you. So which one in the declining market, in the up market? What we are using, what we're talking about here is the enhancing and creating equity, make it worth more, right? So in the declining market, which we are going to in the next few years, right? So all the experts say we are not going to change the situation and the market, in the short term. It's going to be the market going to go into the declining and normal, which is the new norm for us, the new normal for us, right? So the skill, the idea is must be like, what are we doing to make the asset worth more? The market can go up, the market can go down, right? So we do not control what the market do, but we are control what we do to the asset by forcing value, by value added into the property. So you can sell it through the paper, and you can sell it through the physical chain. So the short term would be acquire the asset, entitle the asset, right? And then sell it, and sell it to the market, to the end user builder to come in and build a project. Or the other one would be like physical chain. You go in, we go in, we change we go from short term. We go through the process of short term. We're done with the short term. Now we go into the long term, which is build out the asset and sell it out. So many idea and strategy that will be selling to creating and enhancing equity, and so over the 15 year, coming to the ICSC, talking to many owner, developer, and broker, so we know that enhancing an equity is so important. Value add, that part of that, right? So the market can go. So how do we invest? How do we invest in today's market that create a huge, great profit, for yourself, for your client? So those are the strategy that work very well in the market. That can go into curb appeal, it go into for residential, right? How do we make it? How do we enhancing equity? How do we make the asset worth more in residential? That many of those idea and strategy that will be sharing at the enhancing and creating equity class. So the other class that offer at the advanced business workshop for broker for the investor, and then for the builder and developer, it's also asset protection, and that will be taught by our affiliate attorney that will be coming in and help us to do that. Yeah. So the next class here that we have is a real estate developer program and how to become a real estate developer. And I understand, so as you already know, people that go into real estate development and build, almost more than 95% is a builder, right? And then 5% is a developer. And so this is the crucial skill that learning how to become a developer. That's another class that we provided. The next one is also very crucial and very important, is that the EB5 regional center program, right? So I live in Seattle. As you know, that I'm a refugee. I came from Vietnam. I went to China back in 1989, and then after I got accepted by the UN, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee, then I moved to the Philippines, right? So from Philippines, after I got interviewed and approved by the USCIS government, because my father used to work for the U.S. Army for over 18 years, right? And the relationship that the South Vietnamese government and the U.S. government before the 1975. So I migrated to the U.S. under the government support program, right? So because of my background, where I came in from, I'm very passionate about immigration. So I created and I founded a regional center program where I create a business plan, create how we're going to operate it, create a marketing plan of how we're going to take the investment in the US, especially like in state of Washington, and went overseas and promoting that, raising the money, bring those funding back to the United States that help the local economy through housing and create new jobs without the U.S. government support, right? So I went to the U.S. government with the Department of Homeland Security, and I submit my business plan for the regional center. So the U.S. federal government approved the regional center. Today we have multiple counties in the Western Washington approved under our EB5 investment program. So what is the EB5 investment program, right? The U.S. has always been a country of immigrants, regardless where we coming from. Back in the 19th, 18th century, right? We have majority of immigrants coming from Europe and coming from Africa, right? But today, in 2020, right, in our decade, 90% of the immigrant coming to the United States from Asia, right? So immigrant is always a big part, of our economic growth and our country. So that's why, over the last 14 years, I involved with this industry, and then also create and own a regional center, and then help with the builder out there to raise equity for their project, right? Many projects in the local area here that we involved with, right? So EB5 is a fantastic program, and if you can see like how the EB5 equity work in the local marketplace here, yes, we have right here in Seattle, Washington, United States, we received so far over $1.7 billion in a foreign investor invest here in Seattle. So the EB5 regional center, the investment and development program. So to continue to learn about what are the EB5 investor to obtain the green card. Also, what would the EB5 investor is? What is the investor that eligible for in a certain project, and when can the client when can the project begin to accept EB5 investment capital, right? So what is the role of the regional center, and why is the client need one? Why is the developer and the builder need a regional to sponsor the project so it's become a certified project to receive a foreign investment fund, right? In this case we call it JCE, job creation enterprise. So then the project side qualify at a target unemployment area. Back in 2000, the program was started in 1993 with the Congress approved the program. But then last November 2019, USCIS changed the minimum investment program from $500,000 to $900,000, right? It's also changing the TEA in what we call target unemployment area. So not all the project, not all the concentric map, not all the site, not all the location is qualified as target unemployment area. So then when you acquiring when you help a client to acquiring the project, right, putting together all the offering documentation, that including the market study, offering document for the EB5 or for the project. Then you got yourself a regional center that sponsor the project. Then completing the offering packet document, getting ready to go on the market and market in your property, market in your project on the open market overseas. So how will the client market the project to the potential client, whether overseas, whether domestic? And and I know, in Seattle, Washington, where we operated, where our office located at. So far, like I say, we already received, since the program opened, we received over $1.6 to $1.7 billion FDI, foreign direct investment, into this program, right? A lot of projects that you can see, similar to the King 5 headquarters building, that EB5 financing. The Seahawk the Seahawk Stadium, the two project at the stadium, the one that located on the two buildings that located north of the stadium, and one is on the east, that owned by American Life, that EB5 financing project, and the other project is also one on the west side that owned by Kevin Daniel project. It's EB5 project. So over in the SoDo area, 53 property acquired through the EB5 financing program, right? So it should make a good program to invest in real estate. And by the way, 92% EB5 financing is commercial real estate. Yeah. So how do we structure it? What type of structure are the most common in the project, right? And how much flexibility are there in the structure for the project? And how is the capital, how that gonna be fit into the capital stack of the project? So so the question, do the structure vary project type to type, whether equity, whether loan model? So those are the things that we'll be sharing at the Advanced Business Workshop degree camp that we open up every single month on the third week of the month. This is where we offer the class, right? So opportunity zoning. Now, with our program, we are the state approved State of Washington approved opportunity zoning, right? So go into this training program, as you already know, and opportunity zoning is one of the third largest community development fund in the U.S. history, right? It's approved by it's approved in April of 2018. It passed the it passed the law, and the opportunity zoning is part of the tax package that's signed into law by the president of the U.S. So opportunity zoning it's a good program, and we're gonna go in depth, in detail, and share with you this program with our class. Now, contract, right? Think about that, like think about the contract. Think about contract. Very important, right? Very important to know about the contract. So over the past 20 plus years in the business, operating at a CEO broker for Windermere and Prudential. So I have seen over thousands of contracts. So I use this experience and sharing with you, how to prepare a great contract, and think, how to negotiate the best term, right? The best term, not so necessary about the best price, but term is so available in today's declining market to negotiate. So understand the type of term and how to use them, and how to make money on the contract, right? How to write a multiple contract and everything that you purchase, and how to negotiate to the due diligence and the inspection. So negotiate everything on a contract. Best idea, best strategy we'll be sharing with you, right? So the next class is the investment deal evaluation. Here what you're gonna learn from this class, right? You're gonna see the whole picture of the investment, right? I would say the best investor is the best deal evaluator. So if you want, you make money when you buy, right? You make money when you buy. And how do you buy it right? Being the great, train yourself to be the best real estate deal evaluator. That evaluate on the short term, right? That evaluate on the long term for the cash flow and the equity position, right? And then so the next class that we have is raising capital, right? So raising capital is very crucial skill that you need to have. And the people that learn how to learn how to raise capital is the one that can do unlimited amount of transaction, deal, and income. Like I shared with you, I came to the U.S. in 1993. As you can see, I don't even have, my English is not that great either, right? So I came here as a refugee, right? So I got into real estate and be able to do multiple deals. So in the process of learning how to raise capital to do deal, right? So we call that OPM, using other people's money, right? So but when you started out, you have the fear of how to raise capital, right? And so you learn to give a fantastic presentation. You learn the technique and the skill, and going out there and presenting talking to the client and raising the capital for your project, for your client project. So raising capital is very crucial, right? So everything, if you look at the project, like one of the past projects that we have on a 3701 Rainy Avenue South in Seattle, Washington 98144, we actually raising capital through a bank, right? So we go to the bank and raising capital to purchase that project. So many opportunity for you to raise in capital, right? So, but tour, that's another class. So what we do is that we're gonna take the we're gonna take many projects, and we complete over 46 investment transactions in the past, right? So we want to take you to 25 plus project investing deal, from small project townhome to a subdivision, to a remodel redevelopment project. We're gonna teach. We're gonna share with you about the project that we do, right? So see the zoning, see the neighborhood. The more you learn, the more you earn, right? So knowledge is equal confidence, and ignorance is equal fear, right? So in order for you to expanding your business, in order for you to expanding your income, you need to expand in your knowledge and your skill, right? Learning more, right? So I want you to learn a lot of this idea and technique and strategy and then apply that into your business. So we have our program on the website, and so I invited you to come and join this class. I am pretty sure, and I guarantee you're gonna walk away with some great idea, strategy that you can apply into your business and grow your business in today's changing and declining market. Thank you for your time.